On the course of my research, I realized that you can grow more than one individual plant from a single pineapple crown by just manipulating the crown to produce four other plantlets that you use to plant for more pineapple. So one day I bought a pineapple that had the crown intact, and yes, these are store-bought pineapples. So I was going to perform this experiment of multiplication of the crown on this pineapple crown. So when I went to buy the pineapple, I saw two other crowns there and I requested for it, and I was given, and I was going to use these ones to plant directly and then use the one that I'll get from the pineapple itself for the experiment. So I went ahead to start the experiment by removing the base of the pineapple, that is the leaves at below the pineapple, so that it's going to expose the end for root formation. So I began peeling this thing because if you were not going to peel this end, it's not going to form the roots faster and the pineapple may end up getting rotted in the soil. So after peeling it, it will look something like this. So this is how the pineapple looks after peeling it to expose that area. Then I planted it in soil so that it's going to form the roots, not just necessarily because I'm planting it in soil, because I wanted to ensure that this pineapple is viable and able to produce for my experiment. So I waited patiently until the time that I was sure that the pineapple had formed roots and it looked something exactly like this, and I removed it from the soil to begin the process of manipulating the pineapple to produce up to four different plantlets. So I first of all washed it, then I cut it into four parts that will be planted individually in compost. So this process is actually not so very required if you are going to plant pineapples for commercial purposes, because the wait will be so long that you wouldn't be patient enough to harvest those pineapples, because this could take up to 4 years to complete the cycle and give you just the pineapple fruit that you want to harvest. So it's better to grow your pineapples from suckers and crown if that will be for a commercial reason, rather than multiplication of just the pineapple crown. That will end up wasting your time. But if that is the only option you have, then you're fine to go with it. So this is the future of what the pineapple crown should look like when you are done doing it, and that was what my goal was during the time I was also planting it. So I prepared the soil that I was going to use to plant this. It's a mixture of compost and ordinary soil, and then some food waste in just a container that I was going to use to plant the pineapple cuttings. That's the four that I cut. So I was going to plant them directly into here. So I planted them carefully into this container, and after that I also watered it daily to ensure that it also grows. Yes, and you can also allow this to stay one day before planting it so that it's able to dry up and prevent any form of pathogen growth in there. And the soil should also be free from pests. You can see this after, I think, up to a month plus. After a month and a half, you can see that the pineapples all germinated into this. So when I realized that the experiment was feasible, I decided to go for a larger number that I used to prepare for an orchard where we are going to plant all these pineapples inside. So I prepared up to 30 different pineapple cuttings and I planted them inside soil so that they'll be able to produce their own plantlet that we're going to use to grow in the orchard. After about 2 months or so, the pineapples were all sprouting, and then they were transferred to the orchard where they are presently growing, but I'm not currently monitoring because I don't live around there. And so I was going to also tell you guys that it's best to plant a pineapple from the crown, not verily from the plantlet. Yes, the crown is a very successful method of growing pineapple with low expertise, and yes, the area that is repealed from the pineapple can be used for compost, so don't trash it away. And you can see that in my house here I plant so many pineapples in sacks and containers. So if you basically have just one pineapple crown that you would like to grow more than one pineapple, this video is for you, so that you're going to use as a guide to grow your own pineapple, more than one pineapple from just one pineapple, so that you'll be able to optimize your chances, and then after that you'll be able to come and thank me for seeing this video. So to continue from where I stopped, when the pineapple crown had grown so bigger, it was then time to transplant it into a bigger vessel or a bigger sack or a bigger soil or wherever you're going to plant. You're going to report these things into a bigger area, because pineapples grow into giant plants that you want to give them enough space to reduce the competition among them. So you're going to remove this, then transplant it into a big soil that you're going to enable them to grow perfectly. So from that one single pineapple, I was able to get 5 different pineapple, because out of the 4 pineapples, one of the pineapple was able to produce 2 pineapple crown, and then this other one was able to produce three. So 3 plus 2, that's a total of 5 pineapple from just one single pineapple. And I think this process is very sustainable, and everyone should try this at home everywhere is possible.